He's gonna be like, so what did you do while I was gone? Oh, you know, this and that.
I took over the world. Oh, good for you, son. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, father. Wait, you're my father?
Yeah.
You only unlock that because you have loyalty 3 with me. Did you just say that out loud? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the lawful thing to do.
Well, let's see how things are going. No more proceedings will be held for nobles today. This court is closed. Go home. This is an outrage. We demand to be heard.
I don't care.
Fuck off. This blah blah blah. I forgot to read my dialogue because I was looking at the numbers.
Fatebinder, thank you for answering my summons.
No.
This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest.
I only ask, how will you proceed with your trial if your headsman is dead?
My headsman? His life was not yours to take.
He chose to administer his own justice and ambush me. I only defended myself, troll. No, I'll be honest. This is probably what Tyranny would say when I do the Tyranny Lannister run of this game. I killed him as Kairos ordered, and I stand by the decision.
I will
So
determine
what
if
you're
you are
saying
as
is
loyal as
you
you
will be
claim to
murdered
be,
in the toilet.
Fatebinder.
Yeah, that
We are
baby's
not
getting eaten.
finished here.
I'm not looking forward to that
Wait.
part, but
Would you? Why would you? Wait, but
You have made quite a
who
name
would be
for
telling you to
yourself,
murder the
Fatebinder.
baby in this scenario?
Oh, yeah,
We're not
that's
going
Your
with the
deeds have
disfavored.
spread through
That's
the
true, never
tiers,
mind.
and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought.
yeah, I get it. Telltale tells me this every day.
The court has its own charges to present and invites you to answer for yourself.
I expected as much. Bring on your charges.
These proceedings are merely a formality. You have shown yourself to be a force of chaos and discord
What?
throughout the tiers. You cannot be trusted and therefore must be destroyed. However, the law
It sounds like you're
dictates a
mad,
trial
bro.
must be held.
Bro, you mad?
The trial
You mad,
begins
bro?
now.
You mad, bro? You
I
mad?
recommend that you treat
mad,
these
bro?
moments
You
with
mad, bro? You
deserving
mad, bro? You mad, bro?
gravity, as they might be your last.
Fatebinder,
Don't
I am
attempt
in
to
fact
lie or
mad,
evade
bro.
answers. I will judge you in the objective eyes of our overlord. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor. I find myself in contempt of court.
At least your civility remains intact.
It always has.
You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest, and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your
Was this
station.
the end of the game?
I
Our
think so.
directive
Yeah.
to bring Kairos' peace to the tiers has suffered, and you will answer for the part you play.
I haven't been that chaotic. I'm sure I murdered a couple babies, but who hasn't? If you
I
don't
mean-
mind,
Fatebinder, you deleted that whole stack of babies.
I'm
Yeah,
not
do it
admitting.
again.
I'm not admitting anything, but like, if you say you didn't kill a bunch of kids, then like, I
True.
don't believe you.
if you don't
No,
mind,
Fatebinder.
adjudicator, we are on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require input, we will add our voices as testimony. So if I lie, yeah, I get it.
The court has inquiries into your conduct. I first call
Oh,
your
Tunon, you
travel
need to bub like
companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes.
Oh, everyone loves me.
Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder? The ironclad commander will step forward, if indeed he has the strength to walk.
Yeah, he does. He could bench your ass.
You want me to speak, adjudicator?
Barrick's armor makes a distinct rattling sound that echoes in the court as he steps forward. Don't be shy, Barrick.
Nobody
I've been
says
treated with
anything
fairness
on your
and
behalf.
respect. As fine as anything the Legion ever gave me. The Fatebinder trusts my counsel.
Thank you.
I've never seen a finer, more upstanding member of the court.
Thank you. I'd cry, but I'd be embarrassed, so...
Will anyone else speak on
I'd
the
cry, but
Fatebander's
crying is
behalf?
gay.
Lantry.
Scarlet Fury, you who sacrificed your old life for this one,
Okay.
step forward.
Verse, please.
Me? As if the likes of me has any business speaking in a grand hall before the Archon. Why, I've murdered enough folk to
First,
stack
it's not
their
helping.
bodies up to the podium 10
The
times
delay
over.
is throwing me off.
Your Honor. The Fatebinder and I get along like a couple of cats. We scratch here and there, but there's respect to be had. Sometimes I think we agree on too much, but can't fight everyone. I suppose I've had worse bosses, and I suppose I've had better friends. But this one's something special. I've killed for him, and I'll do it again.
I might do it now if you don't play your cards right, Tunon.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Let the aged chronicler step forward.
If it may please the court, I will speak true.
Okay, Ventry. My Obi-Wan, please.
I have had the honor and privilege of shadowing the Archon. A dream come true for someone so eager to witness history in the unfolding. I can say, with conviction, I am following greatness.
Thank you, Uncle Ben. And if required, I could produce my travelogue to back my claims. I have noted the good with the bad, and I think you'll find the Archon has been a force of order and balance. Exactly what you should want from a Fatebinder.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Maybe, but I didn't bring them here. Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer his I mean, it's probably good I didn't bring Kells and Shadow, because you would go, wow, and attack.
Your Honor.
Kills and Shadow would be like,
Nice ass the Fatebinder has.
I dispatched you to the realm of Stalwart to deliver Karis' Edict of Storms to the Regency at Sentinel Stand Keep, a punishment for their continued resistance against the rightful authority of the Overlord. Yet you hesitated longer than necessary in its issuance, allowing the Regents time to stockpile supplies in their bastion while drawing the disfavored deeper into the path of eventual devastation.
it's kind of their fault.
It's my first day.
I mean, like, it's like, hey, I'm gonna call this edict.
Yeah.
Let's keep fighting!
I hope to spare as many of the people... No, because I gave warnings beforehand, remember?
No, but the disfavored, like, went further in when
Yeah.
you gave... After you said, we're gonna do the edict.
That's true, yeah. The disfavored were active in the region. I wanted to give them time to pull their patrols back. Not that those hours did us much good in the end. Yet they did not, indeed. Did not the Archon of War specifically entreat you to issue the edict immediately, a request you ignored? Tunon shakes his head. Do not try and hide behind the shields of the disfavored, Fatebinder. The Overlord turned her wrath as much on the soldiers who failed her as the regents who defied her. You resolved Karis' Edict of Storm with a legal contrivance. What's more, you spared Stalwart's ruling bloodline, circumventing the edict's very purpose. Did you think the Overlord's fury was a riddle for you to unravel?
Yes, and I did. Did. Bro, you're just mad that I outsmarted you.
The Overlord's
You're
will
just
can be
fucking-
overcome by a legal loophole. You see the implication. Karis is fallible. Tunon's wrath too. Your Honor, I moved that the statement be stricken from the record.
I think I remember that was my pick. I'm like, dude, this proves that Kairos is dumb.
Yeah.
This proves that Kairos' law sucks.
For a
and you
long moment, the only
suck.
sound is the whisper of Tunon's shifting robes. When the Archon finally speaks, his voice rolls through the chamber, as implacable as the headsman's falling axe. You presume to understand the Overlord's will? You believe
Yeah.
that armed with a modicum of research and idle chatter, you outwitted the Overlord? I find your
Yes.
claims as repugnant as they are naive. Look,
Well,
write your
then
own
explain
grave.
how I did it.
You entered the Old Walls, a clear violation of Karis' law. How do you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the law?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bro, I don't know where you're, like... Bro, I think you're kind of...
The transgressions was necessary to complete my tasks. The law stood in path of Karis' justice, if you will. The circumstances you describe have no precedent, but I trust your reasoning. Agents of my court are not immune to the law, but your position was an impossible one. At the city of Halfgate, you killed the garrison chorusman who lawfully claimed it. A dozen of Karis' servants bloodied the streets in your wake. True.
Yeah. Oh. Big if true.
They attacked me and violated Karis' peace. I defended myself appropriately. I suspected as much. A pity you could not do so without eradicating Karsus' presence in the town.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tears to sow discord in your wake, or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
The Archon's corruption was evident from the start. It was only a matter of time before they turned on each other, and I was prepared for that eventuality.
If you anticipated a failure on this scale, you should have informed me, or else worked to avoid it rather than pit combatants against each other.
Truly, the wisdom of the court knows no bounds, Your Honor. Morgalis turns to you with an imperious look.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
I challenge you to a trial by combat.
That's literally what I did in my playthrough. I'm like,
Though I ever strive to bring peace and order to the shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle, and it was well worth it.
The way you frame it, the conquest sounds like a matter of true personal investment.
I hope so. It took
Most
me 20 hours.
curious. After weighing the charges,
You're gonna find me
this
guilty,
court
obviously.
finds you innocent.
What?
Against
Oh.
all reason or expectation, I find you
Yeah.
innocent. Your testimony was sufficient to justify your
Yeah, your
deeds,
arguments-
your self-appointed authority, and your
Pretty-
undermining of Kairos'
Damn, he really
law.
is unbiased.
Solid.
I
Yeah.
cannot
Bro.
believe it myself.
I really respect your bipartisanship.
Oh yeah, he's so unbiased. Let's see if he acquits me. Yeah, he does. So, oh, now I feel
Let's-
bad for implying he was.
Kairos'
Yeah,
law
so-
is implacable. Now let me shake the magic 8-ball to see if you're... What? You're innocent!
damn it, 8-Ball, you were supposed to tell me what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, these are
Damn it, I smashed it. Now there's black goo
His
all over the
arguments
floor.
all- hold up in as the court. This holds up in court. Court is adjourned.
Tunon raises a trembling
home.
hand to his mask.
Or is going home and
Uh,
gonna have dinner.
Whoever.
Adjudicator, are you
Go on.
unwell? Regardless takes a cautious step. Leave him. I want to see how this plays out. Callio leans forward with interest.
Archon, your presentation in the court today has shaken many of my core beliefs.
Trolled.
Things I held sacred under Kairos' law are now uncertain.
He looks at his gavel with a sense of bewilderment.
I once thought that Kairos was the sole overlord. The notion of rising to her echelon of power
game is
and
better than I
influence
thought it was.
wasn't a concept that
Like,
existed
I didn't know this
for-
was an outcome that you can get.
for
Tyranny is
anyone.
a very good game.
Very
Oh
good.
yeah, he can find you
I kind of feel
innocent.
like I get again.
Is Almabik waking up for anyone else?
No, I hear him fine.
Oh, that's strange.
Yes, yes I am. Oh, wait, you do? My ping is awful.
Weird.
That's weird, because
Yeah, I
I'm
can
hearing you
hear
pretty
you
well.
just fine, Elvic.
Rockworm is too powerful.
I mean, it's better than
Yeah,
it was
well-
last time, but it's still a bit surprising.
The internet can't hold me.
Yeah.
You have proven her wrong. What's more, you understand justice and law better than she ever did. Better than even
Upon his mask, the corners of his eyes crinkle as if in agony.
I am willing to accept you as my new sovereign, if you'll have me.
I accept. Together we will rewrite law and lay the groundwork for a new empire. Serve me as you serve Kairos. I ask nothing more.
Base.
My loyalty is beyond question. I will do anything for you.
Wholesome. Funny thing to say when you just turn coat on your old boss. What say we kill him just for the fun of it? I want to see what's under that mask. No, verse, no.
My gavel and my justice are
no.
yours. I will execute your laws as you draft them, show mercy as you see fit, and bring to ruin all who would reject
I
you.
like how you can judge him as guilty for judging you innocent.
If you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in a lawful manner.
I'm not fucking innocent, you moron. I'm guilty as
You idiot, I'm guilty!
fuck. I don't want stupid people like you serving
Try and keep Ash on a short leash.
me.
Oh my god, Alma, you're breaking up so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, yeah, breaking up now for me.
Yeah.
Try and keep Ash on a short leash. I think the old man likes knowing his constraints, and no one sets limitations more efficiently than Kairos. But I think you'll manage. I have my doubts that the voice in the rat is dead. Seems like something you would have planned for a long time ago. You sure you got the right Archon? Yeah, what can I do for you? How do you think the court will fare without Bled and Mark? Everyone is replaceable. As long as you keep that in mind, I'm not so worried. True. If you must hold on to Ash, keep him in line. Just remember that you are the third master to whom he's sworn his life and fealty. Better for all our sakes that the voice in the rat left this world. I always thought Kairos used him to thin the herd. Anyone in the hierarchy was fair game. Speculation, of course. Huh. So now we actually have to enforce a pretty legitimate law because there's no assassin to like kill everyone I hate. That will be interesting.
You can find one of those. So.
Could find a new one, but I don't see the reason to yet. Anyway, I have to go pledge the fealty. Unless he attacks me in one violent, ornery outburst. It's a good thing everyone loves me. Except for the voice in the rat, but he's dead, so...
Archon.
My final
Change has
judgment.
come to the
Everyone
tier,
gets the N-word
and in
pass.
time it will reach the Empire itself. You are
Everyone.
the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach. The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the tiers.
Huh. Now I've got court officers too. And fate binders. I mean,
You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
if these fate binders are as good as me, well, I mean they aren't, but they'll do fine. Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the tiers, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos.
Well, 2 Archons on my side. That's probably enough to start a resistance or war.
Go and represent the strength of law. Be the example the tiers require.
Better outcome
the
than what I
force
had,
that
right?
keeps them together, and the hope for their
I
future
fought
under
him,
one
and he was
rule.
like so hard to beat.
Let your justice know
I only had to
no
fight
mercy
Vladimir
but
and
that
the rat.
which you
They were hard
impose.
fights though.
Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Holy fucking shit. I did not expect this much power, but I got it.
Yeah.
I have an army, and now I have the legal
I
system
am
to uphold
grateful
my
to
rule.
stand in your loyal service, Archon. But there is a
You are
shadow
now the
over these
tyranny.
proceedings.
Tunon hesitates as he regards you, fearful.
Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kairos is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers marching on the tiers as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
I unified the tiers in Kairos' name. I did not wish for a war with the Overlord.
Do you think Kairos cares about your fealty?
Fair.
You are a threat, a challenge to the Overlord's unique capacity. Coexistence will require supplication to the Overlord. If you can convince Kairos that your loyalty outweighs your arcane gifts, then perhaps further bloodshed could be avoided.
That would be appreciated.
I think the Overlord will entertain peace only to lull you into a sense of security, so that you may be destroyed at a later time, in a more
I like that.
amusing way. But recent
You're now
events
too
have shown me
powerful
that I
to be left alone.
know less of the Overlord's will than I once thought.
Kairos has decided you are too cringe.
I could proclaim an edict against the Northern Empire, but that's not my way. I've always tried to seek peace, so I think I'll send an oath of fealty to Kairos. I mean,
that's boring.
yeah.
May Kairos deem your actions loyal, for both our sakes. If you want to make your intentions clear, shout your loyalty to Kairos from atop the mountain spire, for all the tears to hear. The gesture will mean more if the supplication is public.
Good idea. My gut is if we do have to accept war later, it's probably better to do it when I'm organized, because God knows she's probably more organized right now. I never thought anyone could get the jump on the Voices in the Rat. He outlasted most of his enemies and ate the others. He was this great bottomless thing. I just assumed he'd be around forever. Now he's dead. Hard to believe, really, but I am happy. But he did give me this life, this name. He's an artist, but I hate him. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm impressed. You've exceeded my very low expectations. Do you think he's dead? For real, though? For being honest with each other, I have my doubts. The Voices could scheme 1,000 steps ahead of anyone. I can only imagine he had something planned for his death, some contingency. It can be so complex we may never recognize it if we saw it. Maybe it won't happen in our lifetimes if we're lucky. Well, with all that's been done so far, let's go to the mountain spire and proclaim our happy independence, peace. The air shimmers around you.
Peace
the trees,
for art.
Peace in our time. The trees along
Time.
the path shuddering, shrinking, sprouting arms as trunks split into legs. An arcane illusion, you realize, and in its place, men and women in soot-dusted clothes, quills tucked in their hats, jars of acrid-scented potions hanging from their belts. Ah, a young woman steps forth, her right eye a mass of burn scars, her left narrowed at you in abject loathing. The school of ink and claws not done with you, Binder, she spits. The Vellum Citadel remembers what others forget. You, however, will meet the fate of every peon of the Overlord foolish enough to cross the sages, an anonymous grave in foreign soil. Prepared to be forgotten. Your hands near your weapons, you consider the words carefully. Hands empty, you speak to the historians in quiet, even tones of a scriptorium. Enough, the magic box. You will not convince us of your respect for our work. Only the void awaits you. Okay then. Like I said, peacemaker. But they don't want peace, so I'm gonna kill them. That's the opposite of peace, but at the same time, tough shit.
But also, sometimes you gotta do murder.
Sometimes it just be like that.
Tear your skeleton out by your ass!
Right.
Thanks for reminding me how bad I am.
Are you afraid of
You're welcome.
I get overwhelmed when there's too many enemies. Fucking die too much.
In fairness, I'm not that worried because it wasn't that powerful. These guys. Like, I'd be microing way harder if it was a hard fight.
Dan never needs to micro because he's so cool.
Yeah, give it
Yes.
time.
On it.
Alright, back to the mountain spire, buccarinos. Okay, let's proclaim that edict of peace and hope that Chaos isn't a salty bitch. Let's hope she isn't on a period, am I right, guys?
Women can't
Oh,
be the
women.
worst. They'd be too emotional.
They'd be too hysteric and they'd have abortions all over the place.
Forced abortions for all.
They would, women would enforce their abortions on all the men, making men get abortions.
The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind to its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing commandments to the farthest reaches of the tears and beyond.
You issue your edict.
Ligma.
Any requests?
How could you ask such a thing? I can't possibly make such a far-reaching decision. I'm sorry you have more options than you have convictions.
Can you just turn everyone inside out? Make them piss rings? I can't decide. You figure it out. The Edict of Storms helped to craft the man I am today, for better or worse. This might be exactly what the Overlord's hierarchy needs, a little mischief to toughen up. Troll the... Is he saying troll the Empire?
Yeah, do a little trolling.
Eric, I'm impressed. Where did this rebellious streak come from? Let us say I have shared this campaign with some inspiring people of late. You big dumb softy, get out of here, I mean it. I mean it, leap off the fucking edge before you bring a tear to my eye. I'm the last standing Archon and standing in the tears. It's time to send word to Chaos, the conquest is complete.
Yes! Let the record keepers praise this day as the ultimate victory of the Overlord! Let children sing of the heroic deeds of the disfavored Legion! Let soft courtiers envy those of us who braved the foreign...
He trails off. But Fatebinder, Archon, do not your hands feel sullied still? We've turned our blades against our own. Our choices plunge the conquest into madness. What possible hope can we have that the Overlord will forgive us our transgressions?
Who cares? What is the Overlord gonna do? Kill us? Like,
Yes.
people have been yelling they're gonna do that the whole game.
Well, I find your sense of contrition admirable, but fear not, Chaos will have to kill me first to get to you. So, let's hope she does not find us in error.
I appreciate that, Archon. I suppose our heads shall roll together or not at all, as Kairos wills. If you know the Overlord's mind as well as you claim, our loyal service shall certainly see reward.
The letter of Kai's order has been fulfilled. A single Archon now rules triumphantly over unified Tears. In the name of Kairos, I, Kadar, claim the Tears for the glory of the Overlord. Magnified by the power of the resonator, your victorious words thunder through the valley, out to the world beyond. Seconds later, you hear the reverberations of your voice echoing off the mountains. Louder than a stroke of thunder or earthquake, your declaration of triumph rings across Tyranny. A moment passes, and far to the north and east, bolts of copper-hued lightning roil between the clouds, a spectacle last seen a century ago, when the northern kingdom fell to Kairos and became the Empire. The conquest of the Tears, and all of Tyranny, is at long last complete.
The Tears have been conquered.
Yay!
Unified at last under a
I did
single banner. Word of your victory reaches the ear of Kairos, as does your declaration
Let's
of
see what
fealty
happens.
and obedience to the Overlord.
It's time to pass the
In answer to your surrender, Kairos'
Yes!
armies halt their advance on the Tears and withdraw to their garrisons.
I did it! I brokered peace!
You have brought order to the Tears, uniting the realms with the disfavored Legion, enforcing your will. The whole of Tyranny now finally rests in Kairos' grasp. The conquest is, at long last, complete.
Yay! Days after the declaration of your victory, the mountain spire becomes a bustling hub of incoming peace delegation and missive birds, as your newly conquered vassals compete for your favor with obsequious displays of fealty and flattery. In the flood of missives comes a single, wordless message bearing the seal of Kairos, depicting a map of Tyranny, with all the districts of the known world carved up, each assigned the symbol of an Archon. Your symbol is illustrated atop the peninsula of the Tears. Actions speak louder than words, and on the day you receive the map from Kairos, your scouts report that the armies marching upon the Tears have reversed course and disbanded. You fulfilled Kairos' decree, and all the tiers are now ruled by a single Archon, you. Your former rivals submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war finally to a close. The Scarlet Chorus may have been mighty in numbers, but that didn't stop you from thoroughly scattering them, cutting off the Serpent's head and sending each of the gangs howling back to the chaos they sowed. How the remnants of the Horde occupy themselves, without a war to fight, becomes a topic for nightmares. It was thought that the disfavored would never rally under another general, but by enlisting Graven Ash to your cause, you managed the next best thing, controlling the Archon to harness the strength of the Northern Empire. You reorganized their old-fashioned regiments with a new chain of command, placing yourself at its highest authority. The Legion's victories spread beyond count, and your soldiers train hard, preparing for retaliations to come. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sowed discontent are vanquished. Their rebellion brought to a decisive end. Any lingering question of who is true ruler of the Tiers is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Uniting the Tiers under the banner of the disfavored was never your directive, and yet you performed it admirably, consolidating the Overlord's forces under your rule and grooming the Tiers for their place in a new order. The same people who once held curses across a siege soon learned to think of this house as part of a greater whole extending beyond their modest borders. So that was good. They're actually treating the Tiers better because, you know, I said, hey, maybe they're not so bad. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the earth around the Stone Sea finally settles, leading everyone to believe the realm of Azur will finally return to its glory. But the ritual used to end the edicts blighted the land to such a degree that nothing will grow, no matter how hard anyone tries. With determination, some are able to start small seedlings, but nothing ever comes of it. The memory of Cain as a great force of destruction remains as a monument of inert rock. Most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone as the people of Azur begin to slowly reclaim the land that was once torn asunder by his power. It is a pity I could not end that ritual. As the strongest and oldest of their kind, the death of the Stonestalkers is a blow to Beastman culture. Their demise also brings centuries of oral traditions to an abrupt end. The local tribes will never recover from this loss.
You did genocide, yay!
With Cain's essence preserved, however, and the lands of Azur permanently blighted, the Earthshakers have returned to the disfavored. While the reputations isn't what it used to be, their success in dealing such a decisive blow to the Scarlet Chorus by removing their main source of food has earned back the respect of the Legion. The Earthshakers are accepted.
Doing a big war crime.
So nice. The Earthshakers are accepted back into the ranks of the disfavored, once again becoming part of the army that helped subdue the Tiers. And now they're mine.
Yeah,
So
you
I
have
put
a
them
bunch of war
together.
criminals.
With the Unbroken all but destroyed, the former citizens of Stalwart threatened to slide into lawlessness. Kairos' forces stationed at Sentinel Stand managed to quell the worst of the uprisings, but peace under the nation's new leadership is resisted at every turn. Amelia returns to Graven Ash's fort at Iron Hearth with her baby, the former heir of Stalwarts. Her presence brings unease to the disfavored, who don't know what to make of a circumstantial traitor. How she navigates the future of you impose on Taradas will be her decision. Though it takes some time to recover from the devastation of the Edict of Storms, the Bladegrave begins its slow march towards healing. The realm of Stalwart may never resemble its former glory, but the land is not so blasted that something new and better can't be built atop the bones of the past. The Regent bloodline has ended. With it, new traditions and legacies will spring to life. Eliminating the Scarlet Chorus that plagued the disfavored troops in the Vellum Citadel, cutting a path through them all the way to the Silent Archive. Instead of destroying it, as Graven Ash wanted, you chose to keep it for yourself, realizing the knowledge contained in the scroll was far more useful in your hands. Well, it was. By taking the Silent Archive from its pedestal and disrupting the preservation spell holding the Vellum Citadel in stasis, you caused the collapse of the single largest repository of knowledge in Taradas. The world may never know the true extent of the loss. The sages, all but wiped from the Tiers. What remains of their hoarded knowledge is vulnerable, as likely to be misused as it is destroyed. The damage done to the intellectual core of the region is likely beyond reversal. Though small groups of would-be scholars gain influence from time to time, the setback is ultimately too vast to overcome. Without interference from outside forces, Lethian's Crossing flounders under the control of the Bronze Brotherhood. What was once a thriving center of commerce for the Cheers quickly devolves into a lawless town protected by mercenaries and thugs. I mean, couldn't I send my forces there?
Wait, didn't you kill all the Bronze Brotherhood?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I killed the Bronze Brotherhood.
I guess they came back to life. That was their real power.
Weird. Anyway. By enacting an edict on Vengeance Well, you announce your power to the world. Mercifully for the inhabitants of Vengeance Well, the edict on the well does not linger for long, but the event is forever remembered as the first display of true power from Kairos' new Archon. Graven Ash continues to lead the disfavored, this time bowing to your superior command. At first the old general balks at your instructions, but in time he grows to trust your judgment. Working together, you bring much needed order to the lawless Tiers.
You see that village over there? Yes? Don't burn
kill it
down. What?
So, burn it down. No,
what?
don't.
What? So you want?
What did
Okay,
I
you don't
just
want me
say?
to burn it. So you want me to put it to the sword then? Like you want it to be like?
No,
more
put it to the table of bread and feed them.
No, I need you to escort this like grain caravan. They're gonna have a famine, and we need to stop it. But
Killing the voices of the rat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, this occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witnessed his death, you can't help but wonder if the voices of the rats has done with you. Tunon the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the bastard city. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the Tiers would be nigh impossible. The death of Bled and Mark deprived the world of its most capable murderer. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance at the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. Bled and Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. Not that long, I killed him. Not content to enjoy the fruits of victory, Beric positions himself among the rank and file of your supporters, organizing troops around their strengths and making sure each pulls their weight. His armor clings to him as doggedly as ever, though he wears it with a straighter back and a lighter step than he did before. A team of loyal camp followers polish his plates to a respectable sheen each morning, and the smell that escapes his visor has notably improved. Medals of valor decorate his breastplate, and adoring supporters drape garlands of flowers along his pauldrons. Life is good for this towering soldier. Verse finds herself adrift in the relative peace that follows your conquest. Oh, thank God, I was hoping I wouldn't have war. She returns to the field and seeks out young women from rural communities, imparting her fighting skills to only the most passionate. Over the course of many apprentices, she follows the Voices in the Rat's example and forms a personal army, the Callous Sisterhood. Verse proves to be a strict teacher, and you hire her services often, confident that she'll take any assignment where there's blood to be spilled. It's good to have more armies. Lantry keeps a close watch over you, scribbling his account of your deeds and accomplishments. In his tireless quest to fill the chronicle with history and knowledge, he follows you even into his twilight years. And together you learn much about the world. You pretend not to notice Lantry's waning strength, though you find yourself pausing mid-sentence to let his writing catch up. He recognizes your generous ruse, and appreciates it in silence. Aw, my old friend. Ep remains in your company, where she seeks out promising recruits amongst your supporters. After recognizing some obvious talents, she takes on a team of apprentices in a new school of would-be tidecasters. Though she often jokes that the school is bound to fail with her at the helm, her students think otherwise, as do the many dozens of hopefuls who come begging for her tutelage. Kills in shadow. Ugh. I hate doing her voice. It's difficult. Kills in shadow shows little interest in cleaning up the tears after your victory. Instead, she takes it upon herself to hunt down every disfavored soldier that will not submit to your rule. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Word gets back to you of maulings and disappearances among Kairos' ranks, perpetuated by a beast of legendary ferocity. I'm not doing the voice right. I need to hear her voice again to get it properly. Though you could track down your wayward companion, you let her continue the work her own way. Bloody, yet effective. I could do a voice better if I had a reference, but no. Serene, the Archon of Song, never lent her voice to your cause, because I didn't do the right option in the...
Yeah, and the Congo. I like that you can miss her though, because I missed her in my first playthrough as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After spending time in Levian's
I
Crossing
like
gathering
her.
followers,
She's a decent companion.
she disappeared from the tears before your personal conquest was done. Stories reach your ears occasionally, a young woman with a hypnotic voice, and you wonder what marvels you could have accomplished with her in your charge.
If you'd been more of a simp.
The Overlord's conquest of Taradas is complete, and the people of the Tears finally see an end to years of bloodshed. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you survey the lands you now rule by Kairos' decree. Your followers are all too eager to boast of your power of the edict, and they whisper that a reckoning will someday come. For the time being, the Overlord seems content to let you rule the Tears for the glory of Kairos. See? I banked on peace and won. I thought peace, freedom,
Stability.
justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire? Yes, Lantry. Okay.
You have turned Kairos against me.
You have done that yourself. I'm pretty happy with that ending. That was really satisfying.
Yeah, my ending was he's not going to side with me, so I attacked him, and it was like the super. I think it was you were meant to lose, but
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
I'm a stubborn asshole, so I kept trying until I got him. And I don't remember what happens after that, but
I liked
mean,
my story.
I think Kairos sent her armies after me because I just killed the Archon.
Oh shit! Yeah. I did pretty well. Like I rose from, I guess I can enforce Kairos' law, to, I am the most powerful person in this like country. And it was a good story too, because my character was always like, I'll try and make things better for everyone within the confines of the system that's already in place. So it worked out because I actually trusted in Kairos to send her armies back as long as I complied. So now the region is spared from another war, which is what I wanted. And I kept the Legion and Tunon, which I wanted to, and the Rad is crushed, which means there's no more bandits in the country. I did wish there was more I could have done with the Levian's Crossing, but I think I was like locked out of that because of my decision to wipe out the Bronze Brotherhood. Which apparently they came back from the dead, so still though, this is a fantastic game. I really hope that even though they're under Microsoft, Obsidian continues to make like these small, like interesting CRPGs.
Hey, look, it's the Outer Worlds too. Well,
Yeah, I know. I have hope. I can read faster than that. Okay, I can't read that fast. But yeah, it's an incredible game, and what I like about it is I've only spent 20 hours in it, but this is a game that's meant to be replayed. And like, I've done one path, I've done the disfavored path, and I can already see that there's like way more options if you like side with the voices in the rat, become a rebel, or you become an anarchist. Like, there are 4 paths to do here, and
Yeah, I kind of want to.
you can also be like, I don't want to murder this baby, Graven Ash.
please, Graven Ash. Maybe your
Do
hair will grow
it.
back if you let this baby live.
I don't want my hair to grow back. I want to post-birth abortion this baby.
What's the bullshit? But yeah, it's a really fun game, really unique, and I appreciate the length of it because it came in at about 25 hours, and I was taking my sweet time with the game, but I really enjoyed every second of it. Like, there's lots of really cool branching decisions to make constantly, and like I can just sense that this is already ready for like another playthrough. Like I was even mentioning it by the end. It's like, oh, on my next playthrough I'm gonna do this and that, and you know, Rockwell, you were saying it's like, oh, I never saw this in my playthrough, and that's good signs. I like that.
Making me want to play it again.
I think the limited budget of the game probably actually like helped it in retrospect because like not everything is voiced and the game isn't super long, but you can tell that it's packed with like lots of choices and options to make, which I think is a good use of their time. And since it's not really like it's not really a game that it is a game where you could have a sequel in it, but it also stands completely fine on its own. So like, so you're kind of in the state of where it's like I want to take a picture of that. Yeah. So you got this game that's in this great state where it's how do I put this? You've essentially got a game where the story is complete from one end to the other, so all of the choices can have like a meaningful impact within the same game. Like, this game is clearly made with the intention of like, this is a singular game. Maybe we'll get a sequel, maybe we won't, but every choice is going to matter by the end of the game. So I appreciated the fact that like it really integrated all the decisions into the story. I think
that's cool.
I think the only real game I played that's kind of like this in terms of like taking your choices really seriously and like drastically affecting the game is Alpha Protocol, which is also an Obsidian game. I suppose the thing to say here is that like, you know, even though some of the writers have left, the principal matter is that like they can make games like Tyranny still, they can make games like Alpha Protocol again, so
yeah.
The Outer Worlds I didn't like so much. Who knows, maybe the sequel will be better if they take a lot of introspection on board. I know the game sold well and reviewed well, but if they really want to, they can make it a good game. I don't have any doubts about that. And I will say that this probably is going to go in at least my top 10 favorite RPGs, because that was a very enjoyable experience. I don't usually like CRPGs, to be honest. Like, even Fallout 1 and 2, I love them, but like I have no interest in playing them again.
Yeah.
Like, CRPG combat is usually pretty boring. This combat's decent in this game, and I like the fact that it has like a speed-up option. Like, I think that's actually a huge benefit. It's probably the biggest benefit of this game's combat system is that because it's pausable, real-time combat, it can be as fast as you want it. Like, you don't have to wait on each individual turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, the combat's pretty good. I've always had good things to say about it. I'm not going to go into a big analysis of it now, though, because I'm just going to enjoy the ending of the game. But
enjoy a game? What
yeah. I'm not going to lie, part of me actually does just want to start a new playthrough right now, because that was very, very fun.
That's how you know you got a good game, if you want to
Absolutely.
Start over immediately.
Yeah, I mean, this was an enjoyable ride from beginning to end. Like, I liked all of the missions, I liked the story decisions, I liked the payoffs that they had, and I thought the lore was interesting too. I hope they make a sequel to this game, but less so than that, I just feel like I want to see more games that have the spirit of this game, where it's like big branching choices. Like, you can see from the very beginning of this game, it's like the first thing you do, the Conquest of the Tears, is like, okay, make a choice here, make a choice there, make a choice there. This is all going to be important for the rest of the game, and it is. I want more games to integrate choice in that way. I think more RPGs should be like this. And less about, like, you know, big sandboxes with lots of loot. I mean, we can have both, but I'd like to see more of this, because we don't have as much of this.
Yeah, I love the big open world games, you know that.
Yeah.
But there's no argument there. We can use more of these type of things.
Definitely. I think more people are starting to get up to that, and I think that like the success of a lot of like choice-based CRPG games have made like a lot of the stuff more available in the indie market.
Yeah.
Tyranny is also a standout because it is quite well written too. I really enjoyed the dialogue and all the characters. Music is pretty damn good. I mean, there's not a ton of tracks, but the tracks that are here I've really enjoyed too. The main theme is quite good.
I don't remember who said it. I think it was Almabic. He makes a good point about Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
It's like it does feel overwritten, and like despite wanting to like it, it's like, did you get to the point?
Yeah,
exactly. I really wanted to like Pillars of Eternity, but it's just so fucking rambly. Like,
yeah, that's actually my biggest complaint about Final Fantasy XIV. Like, the story likes to drag itself going. Like, just get to the point.
Yeah.
Characters don't know how to just get to the point. They gotta talk flowery. They gotta go on and on and on and ramble.
Yeah.
Like, and all they're just talking about is, we gotta go fight something.
It's like a bad Shakespeare knockoff, yeah. That's actually the last thing I was gonna say, is actually, compared to stuff like Pillars of Eternity, that is what I enjoy about this game, is you'll notice that there is a lot of dialogue in this game, but it always keeps you engaged. Like, you're constantly able to give it input on, like, short statements, and it feels like a conversation, like, it's actually going back and forth. I don't feel... There's only been, like, once or twice, and mostly when I, like, directly ask for, like, questions on lore, which is good, because I think that lore dump should never be, like, segued into conversation too much.
Yeah, like, being able to mouse over, like, things and get, like,
the
lore
highlights that
explanation.
give you lore.
It's super great, because it gives you all this information without running into the Pillars of Eternity problem of...
Explain
here
everything
is
to me.
6 paragraphs of uninterrupted dialogue.
I mean, that's the unspoken part of this thing, is like, well, we can make more choice-based games like this. But I will say, to Tyranny's great credit, because lots of games don't do this, even though it's a text scrolling, like, dialogue interaction system where, like, a lot of this dialogue isn't voiced, they don't consider that, like, a license to just keep writing and writing and writing dialogue. The descriptions are short, to the point, but descriptive and informative and engaging. It's actually extremely well written, and I really enjoy the fact that the conversations felt natural and not like a character dumping a paragraph on me, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, that was something I thought 24 did as well. Like, exposition on a TV show is always is often really awkward, but on 24, they make it sound natural, and they get to, people just need to get to the point.
Yeah.
We don't need 1,000-word essay on why we're doing this.
Why can't I see dead people? Blah, 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 blah. I didn't actually explain anything in this conversation. It was filler. Thanks for reading 500 words, asshole.
But I tell you something. It also, like, this game also, it's another example I will give, actually, is Mass Effect. Because Mass Effect has a really intense, like, lore. Like, if you want to go reading through all of it.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly in-depth universe at times, but it's all in a codex. So when you have a conversation with people, they're natural and, like, normal. I look at stuff like, because, like, something like Pathfinder does interest me, but I look at its dialogue, and I'll segue to this in a second, but, like, I look at something like Pathfinder, it's like, man, that's a lot of words. And I'm not a plebeian, I read tons. Hell, I was reading on the train today. But there comes a point where it's just like, okay, did you think this was too much to write? Like, did you think I had to know all of this? Games like Mass Effect, they kind of work within the medium of the space, if that makes sense, where it's like, well, it's like a voice dialogue system, so you have to make voice dialogue shorter by design. Like, it would just cost too much. It would just cost too much to voice all that dialogue. Tyranny does something very special for CRPGs, where even though a lot of the dialogue isn't voiced, it's still short and to the point and economical. And with that being said, the next CRPG I've got on my mind to play is Disco Elysium, which got updated with full voice acting, so I get to give my lungs a fucking break for that game.
Yeah, I haven't played much of it, but it is what people are saying about it. It is that good. Like,
I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's got very flowery dialogue, which can be very hit or miss for me. But I'll give it a chance. Everyone says it's very good.
Yes. I should play more. I should play more of it.
Everyone said it's very good, but people have told me it's very good from, like, different angles. Like, Wormy told me it was good. Oedis told me it was good. Like, people and, like, lots of people who have, like, differing opinions all agree that the game is, like, good. So I'm looking forward to that one. I can't believe I'm saying this because I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but it actually has got a lot to live up to because I really enjoyed Tyranny, so I only hope I enjoy Disco Elysium as much when I play it next time. There may be one more game before we play Disco Elysium, just because it will annoy Wormy. I might play Life is Strange to to put myself through pain.
No one wants to watch you play Life is Strange.
I want to suffer through Life is Strange too.
That'd be
No
fun.
one wants to watch you play Life is Strange too.
But you do. No, you don't.
I
You already
did.
start. You no Rockworm. He already tried streaming Life is Strange 2. You just forgot because it was so boring.
It was really boring. I don't know if I'll stream it.
I-
We'll see.
I missed most of it. I was here for like when the dad died. That was really stupid.
That was the start of the game.
You know what? Welcome. Next time you're
Swear.
online, we will stream Life is Strange 2 because I think you would enjoy it in the same way that like the same fascination you have for watching two best friends play like Detroit Become Human or like
Yeah.
Omicron. Well, no, it's not as bad as Omicron, but like
What is Dan gonna lose? Which direction is right and left?
No, I have a functioning brain. But I'm really looking forward to this game, and I'm not gonna lie. There is a non-0% chance that once I cut the stream in about a minute, that I literally press the new game button again.
It's a really good game.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. In fact, through the length of playing this game, I actually got like 2 other people to start playing this game again, and they were both telling me how much they liked it.
I mean, Tyranny is just a really good game. Like,
is.
I am, like, it's probably one of my favorite RPGs, like, ever.
Yeah, this is up there. This is like a real like stealth surprise because people were saying, "Oh yeah, this game's good," but I didn't see anyone like gush about it.
It didn't do that well in sales, I
No,
don't think.
it's a
So,
shame
like, it didn't
because this
sell
is a
very
great
well.
game.
Which is a shame, because I think it's, like, probably the best game Obsidian's made, like, in a
Oh
while.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I actually have my fingers crossed. I think it already is on his list. I'm hoping like someone like Mandalore Gaming does a review on it because he
I
usually
think
does.
he already
reviews on
did.
it. No. Oh wait, no, he might have. Yeah.
I know there's a Noah Caldwell
There's a
Gervais
Noah-
video on
Oh,
it.
I get to watch that now. Because it had spoilers. I didn't want to get spoiled. I think
Yeah,
Mandalore
no,
has
you-
done a review on that, so hopefully that sent more sales to this game. And then there's Noah Caldwell Gervais's video, so
I don't
mean,
know,
it's
I'm not
good.
too hopeful Obsidian will make more games like it, because, like, the Outer Worlds made a bunch of money.
Yeah.
They're probably just gonna make games like that for now on.
we
It
don't
makes a
know.
bunch of money.
Outer Worlds 2 could improve on what people were complaining about. I mean, the framework's there. I mean, the combat's the one thing I'm not worried about.
Dan, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that you say the things people complained about, like, it has like 8% positive
I know.
reviews. Like,
Yeah, it's well liked. So
it's only weirdos like us who didn't like it.
Yeah, weirdos like us who play like old school RPGs because we're secretly boomers.
The Obsidian fan base.
Yeah. The small group of Obsidian fans who like this stuff and not Outer Worlds.
wow,
So,
we're fake Obsidian fans.
We're
We
fake
like
Obsidian fans,
games.
yeah. No, we're true Obsidian fans because the game that gets mainstream success we hate.
I mean,
the-
that's because
oh.
it got mainstream success. But
I-
it was also bad.
I'm actually surprised, because without revealing too many people's personal information or anything, our Discord server is a pretty varied group of like people who play games,
There's
Yeah.
people from like
All
most of the
over with-
continents.
all over with different ideas on like what makes a good RPG or game. None of us like the Outer Worlds.
I don't
I'm actually
even-
surprised how popular it is. I thought like this kind of game would definitely be more in the 7 out of 10.
See, the thing is with the Outer Worlds is it's a play once, go, that was alright,
Yeah.
and then never touch it again game.
I think it
and for
might.
most people, for most people, that's it. Like, they just never think about it again.
Yeah. Most people don't even finish games half the time.
Yeah, like, if you look on Steam, like, most games don't even get people going past, like, 5 hours in a 40-hour game. If you look at, like, Steam achievements, so...
I do feel like the Outer Worlds has that how would I put this? It has the Heavy Rain effect because Heavy Rain got really great reviews and everyone was gushing about how like good its choices were, and then like when the retrospectives came out for Heavy Rain, they bashed the game to shit because it's like, wait a minute, this game doesn't actually reflect your choices very well at all.
I don't think anyone is going to... Like, people look back on, like, Fallout New Vegas, like, 10 years later, and they're like,
No
yeah,
one's
that
gonna
was
do
a
that for
great
Outer
game.
Worlds.
No one's going to be doing that for Outer Worlds, so...
I will say though, this game is gonna stick with me. I really enjoyed the characters in it. I enjoyed the lore of this world.
It's a great setting. It
a great
has
setting,
a good
yeah.
aesthetic as well.
Yeah,
It-
sort of a
it's
Bronze
just-
Age aesthetic.
Yeah, like, which is actually, like, not something you usually see, because it's usually,
Yeah.
like, fantasy settings usually just go, wait, yeah, medieval Europe, that's what we're going with.
Yeah, it is actually very refreshing because I did feel this game felt way more tribal.
I
Yeah,
really like how it's like you are the tyrant. You work for the tyrant.
Yeah.
You start as the bad guy. Let's see what we can do with that. I
Yeah,
like
it's a
that.
fantastic premise.
It has a
because-
very interesting premise, and it, like, actually does stuff with it instead of just going, like,
Playing evil
kill
is fun.
babies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
I
I was
like-
thinking,
It lets
I
you
like-
kill babies, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not all it has going for it.
I think that actually that's a good point because you know a lot of games, like, you know, the actual thing of like, oh, you work for the evil bad guys for the ostensibly the entire game if you so desire, is
Yeah.
very rare because a lot of games will bait you with, oh, you're gonna get to work for the bad guys. You're gonna be a stormtrooper in Battlefront 2, or you're gonna be working for like the mega corporation in Haze. Yes, Haze is what came to mind. I'm sorry.
Wait, well, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Actually, a good example of this is the Old Republic, because you can start off as a Sith, and you can be as evil as you want.
Yeah, but the problem with that example is that you have it in a case of like it's an MMO, so your choices only
Yeah.
have limited.
I mean, it's also that, like, it's evil, but
Yeah.
also, ironically, unless you're just doing, like, all light side options on the Sith path, it's like you're just being comedically evil for no reason.
yeah, in a weird
basically.
way, the evil for like the SWTOR games, the evil side, like the actual like proper. If you pick like a dark side character, the weird thing is the light side options are actually more interesting because they're like rationalizing why you would do a good deed instead of like the light side characters where a lot of dark side actions is just like
Be a dick.
be a dick.
Yeah.
I want your money, give it. But
Down
yeah.
the stairs you go, old lady.
But yeah, Tyranny is actually an excellent example of a game that allows you to be evil all the way through, and it's interesting because the thing with a lot of games that allow good or bad moral choices, the unspoken thing is that like, have you ever seen like the data for like Mass Effect's choices, like the sort of like whenever BioWare posts like a tweet, it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
where it's like 90%
90%
Paragon.
Paragon.
Yeah.
It's always like mostly Paragon players. Like I was trying to play evil this Mass Effect one. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like ruthless. I'm gonna make all the hard choices. Still 50 Paragon, 50 Renegade because some of the decisions are just like, I'm gonna kill you. But why though?
I'm gonna pull a gun on Conrad Verna for no
Yeah,
reason.
shove a gun
Lot
in
of-
Conrad Furna's face because I'm a dick.
A lot of players have a hard time doing that. I know somebody who literally he says, I can't play these games as a bad guy ever. I just can't. Like, some people can't do the evil option. No matter.
I can be evil, but there is one thing I will never budge on. I will never put a gun in Conrad Verna's face. He's just too nice. I can't bring him to tears. It makes me upset.
And he's right, that is the only thing he won't budge on. He killed babies in this playthrough.
I didn't kill Okay, no, I killed some They were beast babies. They were ugly. It doesn't count.
No, they weren't. They were so cute. They were little beast people.
I have put the gun to Conrad Verner.
You're biased
and I'll
because
do
you're
it again.
hairy.
You're biased because you're short.
That doesn't make any
Babies
sense.
remind you of how short you are.
Oh, damn it. But yeah, this is actually a good game because it pushes you to be like... Because a lot of the time, I will say this as well, a lot of the times, people make good decisions because they're comfortable that a lot of the... Even if there's negative repercussions, it either won't come off on them, or they have a big support structure. Like... Well, if I do good or bad actions, the System Alliance is always going to have my back in a Mass Effect game, right?
There's very little, like, most games have a, there's not really anything pushing you to actually make evil choices other than, like, your own personal greed, usually.
This game has
Yeah.
something. This game has something that, frankly, every other RPG I've ever played has always lacked. This game has one big deal that you can only do when the evil people have won. That's coercion against the player. Like, the player is actively discouraged from being a nice person, and there is strong implications that, like, if you try and do good, someone is going to come and kill you. So that the game is coercing you to be evil. Like, even if you don't want to be evil. Like, because the playthrough I did was like, I'm going to work within the system because I don't want to get, like, killed.
Because you're a cock.
Yeah, true. But it's like, because I have to work in the system, I can try and do good whenever I think it will be for the best. But it's like, well, if I support this rebellion, then Kairos might come down and crush everyone, including me.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. It's like there's a rationality to being evil because it's the self-interest of preserving yourself. Like,
and also the fact that there is this pressure to do evil means that when you make good choices that help people,
it feels
makes
better.
Makes them feel more impactful because it's like you're not just doing the reasonable thing anyone would do.
I'm giving a kindness that would be rare.
Yeah, instead of like, wow, you gave the beggar 500 credits, like most people would, because you're rich.
But I think that is the beauty of this game that is going to take a long time before we see it replicated, where it's like, yeah, I could do the good option, but someone's going to come beat me up. Like, that's the beauty. I think this game is good because it's like, I think Noah Cobalt Gervais talks about this. It is about the language of power, because you can say this to Tunon. It's like, we only see the Overlord as all-powerful because she has written herself this way. These edicts, the way her lore is. We can imagine herself as like not a being, like someone who could kill any of us with a snap of her fingers at any moment she wants. And that's what keeps everyone in line.
I mean, this is also the thing is that, like, because in the setting, we're, like, people's perceptions and ideas of actually translate into, like, that's what the Archons come from is, well, this is what you're perceived as, and over time, that perception of you as that basically you change.
Yeah, like, that's what the voices, that's what the voice in the rat is warning you about. He's saying, if you keep, the way you behave will start to take a physical toll on you because this universe's magic operates in a way that's like, the more ways people perceive you, you will just get to a point where your power is like, oh, you're a steadfast person, you're like rock, you'll become rock.
And there's also the thing is like, how people perceive you will change you, even if you don't really want it to.
Yeah.
Like, the voices of the rat went from, like, a person into whatever the fuck that is.
Just a swirling, and like Raven Ash, who has like this immovable like compassion for his own soldiers, now has physical strain because he's that worried about every single individual soldier, and he's pretty bad in a lot of ways, but that is something you can admire.
It's also he's so attached to he's so steadfast and attached to the idea of his legion and everything that he basically doesn't empathize with anything else and basically sees everything that isn't part of it as subhuman.
Yes, it's an interesting...
Including his own grandchild.
It's almost as if he's got an interesting character.
Yes.
Maybe. But yeah, I think that is the beauty of the game, is that it's like, well, it's a language of power. We all presume that since Curse is so powerful, they can come and destroy you. And I think the beauty of the game is that by the end of it, you, the player, are actually subject to that power as well. Do you really believe you can overthrow Kairos when everyone tells you it can't be done, she's too powerful, we might even know what she is, and there's no history before her? Like, there's so much about it that's just like, the player to some degree is coerced by the setting, because as far as they know, they don't know how powerful the Kairos is. There's genuine risk to putting yourself out on the line for it, and I think that's what I love about the game
if
most
you're
of all.
a cock.
True.
Oh, how powerful can she be? She's a woman.
But it's like, I think that's actually the beauty of the game, is that, like, even though we never see Kairos, the player is constantly thinking about, oh, I hope Kairos doesn't, like, kill me for this, or oh, what's Kairos gonna do when she finds out about it?
Because this is the thing, is that basically the way that society has been structured within the like Kairos' empire is that Kairos isn't a person. Kairos is God.
Kairos is law and
they're
order.
Not a thing. They're not a person you see. No, law and order is Tunon. Kairos is above that.
No, but she is that law and order. Tunon enforces it. Tunon is not law and order. Kairos'
Yeah, he's
peace
the
is
Archon
law.
of Justice. So.
Yeah, but Tunon is enacting a part of what Kairos' presence on the entire continent is.
Yeah, because no, but this is the thing. Is
Like that's what the
Kairos...
edicts are. They're parts of this. They're parts of law and order. But like, if you break an edict, it's like setting things back to the way they should be, if that makes sense. Like she can force things to be in a new design.
Yeah, like Kairos is like, well, I mean, because the edicts are basically, the edicts are basically like a manifestation of the fact that Kairos' will just is what the world is. A piece of paper with Kairos saying this is going to happen will make it happen because Kairos decides.
The beauty of Tunon submitting to you is because what makes him actually submit to you? He's a completely neutral, bipartisan being who only exists in force law. What the beauty is you have to show him and you have to tell him that Kairos' law is infallible. And what I like about it is it's like Tunon's conception of Kairos is this idea of like
Kairos is perfect.
Whoa,
law comes from
Hold on.
like
Hold on, I wasn't finished.
No, you are finished.
So Kairos' edicts constantly throw regions and continents into chaos that ruin everyone's lives. So the only way that the region can be stable is to make things in the way that she specifically desires, right?
Yeah.
But like doing stuff like what I did to make sure the baby could live shows you that, wait, no, this isn't really, you don't have to do exactly what she wants to get the most stable outcome. Like, I can end the Edict of Storms and save everyone there and avoid, like, committing a bloodbath in Kairos' name. So that's what shows Tunon that, wait, this law isn't an objective reality.
The law isn't
we are being molded by her, basically.
The law isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And if the law isn't perfect, then why is he basing them... Basically... If the law isn't perfect, then why is it the basis of everything?
Tunon in a weird way...
If it's fallible, then why is he basing everything off of it?
Like, Tunon in a weird way is a perfect judge because they think, well, I'm upholding the law and the law is above everyone. But the problem is in this world, Kairos is law. So...
And Kairos is a person.
So the genius is that you have this bipartisan person who's like, I only want to bring order to this region, right? I won't be moved by your morality, or like my personal biases towards your actions. You only have to bring order, and the only way to get them to submit to you is to show that you can actually be a better person to bring order to the region. Because you can do these things that circumvent the edicts in a meaningful way that turn out to be better than what Kairos would have engineered by herself.
Yeah, because the edicts are chaotic.
Yeah.
The edicts don't do anything for anyone.
Breaking the edicts is objectively a good thing, but what happens is that over time these edicts are perceived as like, well, if Chaos had a way, then everything would be ordered. But, well, again, that's the beauty of the game. It's like, over time you gradually get to see how far you think you can push it.
Yeah.
But we've been talking for a little while. I think it's probably time to wrap this up.
Oh, are you still streaming?
Yeah, of course. This is all interesting discussion.
Hi, me from the future when I like this video.
I mean, if someone hears it and thinks it's interesting, it will be worth it.
You see that one like? It's me. Okay? If you watch this far, give another one.
Even though you can't, unless you have an alt account.
Someone's angry you didn't play Raid Shadow Legends.
Tyranny Shadow Legend.
But yeah, I really like Tyranny. It's just good. It has a lot of good things going on.
It's a very good game. I probably wouldn't stream it again, but I definitely will be playing it again. And frankly, I have so many games, so when I say, oh, I'm definitely going to replay this game again, that means a lot. Like, the only games I can think of that I've replayed consistently are New Vegas and the Mass Effect series, and Dragon Age. I like BioWare games. But yeah, I think the fact that I can say with certainty this is a game I'm going to be replaying in the future is a very good sign, because there's probably less than 100 games I replay consistently, and this is one of them. So, looking forward to it. And I guess we'll see what's next to be streamed. Probably Disco Elysium, and maybe Life is Strange too if I really hate Albic that much.
You mean if you hate yourself that much?
Yeah. And you know what the
Yeah.
last final twist of the stream is? I do hate myself that much.